They told me not to move into that neighborhood, not because the house was old, not because the street was too quiet, but because I was black. I'm Amora Johnson, 29, a single mother with a bright, talkative 7-year-old daughter, Lonnie. After years of struggling through low-paying jobs, saving every penny, and fighting through rejection after rejection for housing, I finally got an offer I couldn't refuse: a red brick, 2-bedroom home on Willow Creek Lane. The price? Too good to be true. People whispered about Willow Creek, not in words, but in silence. The kind of silence that trails you like a shadow, that watches from behind curtains and locked doors. But I didn't care. I was proud I was finally giving my daughter a better life. When we arrived that morning, the sun was shining, but the air felt wrong. The street was lined with old oak trees, casting long shadows over crooked sidewalks. Every house looked the same, stiff, lifeless, and cold. Not one child played outside. Not one dog barked. No birds. As we pulled into the driveway, I caught a glimpse of our neighbors. A white man in his 60s stood with folded arms by his porch, glaring without blinking. Across the street, a middle-aged woman watering her garden paused and tilted her head like she'd just seen something unnatural. And then there was the boy, sitting on a swing, pale, still, staring straight into our car, not at us. Through us. Lonnie squeezed my hand. "Mama, I don't like it here." I forced a smile. "It's just new, baby. Give it time." We stepped into the house. It smelled like dust, old wood, and something else I couldn't name, like time itself had rotted in the walls. But it was ours. I started unpacking while Lonnie explored her new room upstairs. By sunset, the house felt a little warmer, though I still hadn't seen a single neighbor wave or smile. Every time I looked out the window, someone was watching: the man with a hunting cap, the silent woman, even the boy, still swinging. That night, after Lonnie fell asleep, I sat in the living room surrounded by half-open boxes, finally allowing myself to breathe. Then I heard it. Tap, tap, tap. 3 slow knocks. I froze. Not from the front door. Not from outside. It came from inside the wall just behind the bookshelf. I pressed my ear to the plaster. Silence. I stepped back, blaming old pipes on my imagination, when I heard it again, a low whisper that slipped into my ear like smoke. "You don't belong here." I spun around. No one was there. My phone buzzed, making me jump. A text from an unknown number. "Leave. Tonight, or she'll be next." I stared at it, heart racing, unsure if it was a prank. Before I could react, a loud scream tore through the air from upstairs. "Lonnie." I raced to her room. She was sitting up in bed, shaking, her eyes wide and teary. "Mama," she whimpered, pointing at the closet. "There's a girl in there. She was crying. She said she can't breathe." I hesitated, then slowly opened the closet door. Nothing, just shadows and boxes. But the floor, it was wet, a dark patch beneath her shoes, as if someone had been kneeling there for hours, weeping. And on the back wall, faint but clear scratching with what looked like a broken fingernail, were the words, "Go back, before it's too late." I shut the door and wrapped Lonnie in my arms, trying to calm her, trying to calm myself. This wasn't just about neighbors who didn't want me there. This was deeper, older. There was something in that house, and it didn't want us there. But I had fought too hard for this moment, for this home, for a life of our own. I wasn't going to let fear drive me out. Not yet. Not without a fight. To be continued in Part 2, The Portrait in the Basement. Subscribe, follow, and like Voices Unheard, where the stories the world hide are finally told.